Hey everyone, my name is Crystal and this channel is Vintage Booth Pro. My goal with this channel is to create a community of vintage booth owners, antique booth owners, craft booth owners that come together and help each other increase our booth sales. So we do that over on Facebook. You are more than welcome to join. I post daily sales updates just to share what's selling in my part of the world, and a lot of other vendors do as well. So it's educational in that way. But we also just have a great community. We have people that share their booths, and so you can get some great display ideas. And overall, it's just a fun community and really super awesome, nice people. So please jump over to Facebook and join our group. So I want to share with you what sold in my booth from August 13th through August 26th, the last 2 weeks. I try to do weekly updates on what sold over here on YouTube, but last week was just crazy, so I wasn't able to do it. But I will tell you, August has just been so slow for me, and it's really kind of split in my group. So a lot of people, it's just really, really slow. Some people are having the best months they've ever had. I do know, as a mom with two kids getting back to school, school supplies are expensive. And, is that an excuse for people are spending their money on school supplies and don't have the extra money to go look for antiques and home decor? Who knows? But I will tell you, every time I go to my booth and kind of add some things, something's not sitting right. I just don't love my booth right now. And I know we all go through that. And it finally hit me because I spend way too much time just staring at pictures of my booth and just seeing how I can improve. But it finally hit me. And I'm going to link the video where I talk about this. On the number one rule of designing your vintage booth, your antique booth display, is that eye level is buy level. And I'm going to pop a picture up here and you can just see I have worked so hard on my Halloween display. 80% of it is below eye level. And so I think that is what is wrong with my booth right now. And, I know this, I know better. But as things sell on a daily basis, it's really hard to keep up with just the design. And you want to keep, you want to keep items in there, you want to keep inventory updated constantly. So it's hard to keep that in mind when you're just, moving way too fast and adding things as fast as possible. So I'm covered in sawdust right now. I'm working on 4 different pieces of furniture that have been in my garage. I am so ready to get it done and out of the house. But in Georgia, it's been like so, so hot. So it's been really hot in Georgia. So you don't feel like doing anything. You don't feel like painting. You really can't paint when the humidity is way too high. Even on the paint, it tells you not to, and you just don't want to. And so we're actually in the 80s today. So I am using this week to get a ton of stuff done, and I will share with you what all I'm doing. I get items just as cheap as I possibly can, a lot of times free, and I'll update it. So I have some ideas going. Those ideas don't always work, but I'm going to try my best and share with you what I'm doing. So just hit subscribe and be sure to stay tuned for those updates. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'll show you how I um, get those things above eye level in my booth. So I think that's going to make a difference. And people want to be inspired. They don't want to just come see all your just inventory just sitting around. They want to enjoy what they're seeing, see fun displays, and we want to make it as easy as possible for the buyers to buy as much as they possibly can in our booth. So over the last 2 weeks, my sales were $249.74. I finally made rent probably within the last few days. So it's just been really, really slow. I did run a 25% off sale one weekend, just kind of as a try to push to get more sales to make rent as early as possible. Which this is really one of the latest times I've ever made rent later in the month. So kudos to people that make it early, and it's happened to me before. So the rest of the month is just gravy. But when you have not made rent yet, you are willing to do whatever it takes to get those dollars in, to get those sales in, so you can get that rent paid. So my biggest sale was during that 25% off sale, the Keystone printer tray. I had it marked 45. I talked to my booth, my store owner about it, and he said that was about how they're normally priced. Because I was going to put it up based on a recommendation, but after I looked at mine, it kind of had some mold in it and was kind of not in really good condition. So I kept it at 45, and then with the 25% off sale, it sold for 33.75. Okay, so the second highest sell, and I will give you a rundown of this, but it's just a Halloween item. And we are in August, and Halloween items are really selling fairly quickly for me. But this one was probably the easiest. If you're not a crafter, you can do this. This hinged frame I found for $4 at Marshall's in the clearance section. Went to Walmart and had these two pictures printed, and this sold for $23. So 23 is kind of a weird number. Like I don't love odd numbers, so I don't normally price things oddly. But I just wanted to push it a little bit above 20. So that one I was happy to sell for $23, and it's so easy. Literally anybody can do this to sell frames and Halloween decor a little bit faster. The next thing that sold is a local tea, which I had created for my booth. Not a ton of sold, but I keep saying I'm going to do some advertising around it, and I will eventually get to it. Okay, another along the same idea with those other frames that sold. These three skeleton frames, I had it in a haul video, I believe. They were gray. I painted them black and did a little distressing, and had these skeleton prints done that I think I found on Canva, I believe, where I found them. Normally, I'll go to thegraphicsfairy.com to find vintage prints, but I thought these were a little bit modern and kind of funny. So that sold for $20. This Mexican vase was marked $22.99, and with a 25% off sale, it sold for $17.24. It was pretty unique, and it had been in my booth for quite a long time, so I'm surprised it took that long to sell. This little tiny mini grandfather clock, but it was by Bombay. I picked it up at a yard sale for $8, kind of high, and unfortunately didn't work. I had some extra clock pieces, some new ones from Hobby Lobby, and it just was too big. So I was just kind of hoping to get my money back. So that one did sell for 15. Even if the clock doesn't work, it's still kind of a cool shelf sitter. This wig box sold for 12, which um, it's such a pretty shade of orange. I was going to include it in my Halloween display, but it sold too fast. And that one I found at the Goodwill bins. And so one of my favorite places. This candlestick with snuffer sold for $12. These four Halloween plates sold for $10. I believe I had them marked more, but I marked them down on clearance. Those were free from, believe it or not, a free estate sale. Which I have not come across any more of those, but I would love to one day. The next item that sold is this mushroom and moss basket frame that I upcycled, sold for $10. Another candle snuffer, I think it's just the silver or pewter candle snuffer, sold for 10. This white skeleton tray sold for 10. And this is, I actually did a YouTube short on it, but I'm going to compile all my Halloween crafts. I don't know what it is about Halloween that makes me love crafting. I could go all year without crafting, but something about Halloween just makes me want to do some upcycling. So this is something from Dollar Tree that I painted and did a little bit too, and it sold for $10. This black feather wreath sold for 10, and that's another one that had been in my other booth. And feather wreaths sell so fast for me, especially Halloween, but this one just took forever. So that one was on clearance and it sold for $10. And those are the only ones that are over $10. I will go through a bud vase sold for $5, nothing too exciting. And just a quick rundown, I had $20 of stickers and $6 of jewelry. And so the biggest thing that I can get from these numbers is that $73 of a Halloween item sold these last 2 weeks in August. So that is actually 29% of my sales over the last 2 weeks were Halloween items. So that's pretty cool and exciting. I love Halloween. I get it out there as quickly as I can. One vendor, my favorite vendor, if you're watching, she tells me August 1st, you have to get Halloween out, and she does every year, and she makes a killing. So just a tidbit of information. get Halloween out if you haven't already, and get fall out as well. So that's all I have for today. 2 big videos I have waiting. I'm in the editing process are all my Halloween crafts that I'm putting together and the furniture that I'm going to get in my booth and do a total booth makeover. So I know I love seeing those. I hope you do as well. So if you don't mind, please subscribe and be sure to like this video if you like what sold videos. Oh, and if you like what sold, I have so many more. So I will link the playlist somewhere here. So thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you on the next one.